meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals to order. And I just want to state one thing up front, since we have a new member, you know, that, so everybody knows, it is not legal for any of the members of the BZA to discuss any of the agenda items prior to a meeting. We can only discuss those in the meeting once it's called to order. Okay? So first off, we'll start with the introduction of members, and please state your name and who you represent.
John Downey, I represent the commissioners.
Teresa Maxwell, I'm appointed by the commissioners.
Doug Walker, representing schools.
Everett Snowberger, Town of Camden.
Randy Strasser, appointed by the mayor.
Gloria Mills, Office of Administrator, Area Plan.
Cameron Yates, Area Plan Director.
Okay, another item is, so that everybody knows, our bylaws state that it requires 3 votes out of the 5 for affirmative for a motion to pass. If there are only 3 members of the board present in a meeting, and we only get 2 votes, then that would not constitute a majority of the membership, and that the agenda item would roll over to the next meeting, and hopefully there would be enough members to get either 3 votes for or against. So,
Also, Cindy Harmon is present
yeah,
via
oh, yeah,
computer.
I'm zooming.
She's zooming. Yep.
Zooming. Thank you, Cindy.
No
Okay.
problem.
Next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from, meeting of November 22nd. Are there any additions or corrections to the meeting minutes as presented?
I move we accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion from the board? Hearing none, call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the election of officers, and I'll officially open the floor for nominations for officers.
I nominate Everett Snowberger to be chairman.
Second.
I move to move the nominations be closed.
Well, we have more than just one officer, you know. Can we address all those in,
Sure.
okay,
Now, do them all then.
okay.
We don't have to separate them, Cindy, right? We can do the president, vice president, or chair all in one motion, or do we need to do a separate motion?
Unless there are going to be other nominations for vice chairman. I go ahead and vote on what you have.
Okay, all right. Motion's made and seconded to close the nominations. All in favor of closing the nominations, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Nominations are closed. Okay, Cindy, do we have to vote on that, or can we just say, since there was only one nomination, by acclamation?
You can do it by acclamation since
Okay.
there were no other nominations.
Okay. All right, so next item would be the vice chair, and I would entertain a motion to open the nominations.
I nominate Randy Strasser to be vice chairman.
Second. Are there any other nominations?
Who was the vice chair?
I was, and I think I stepped up with you. And then, now it's your turn. We all get a chance.
My turn for the hot potato.
That's right.
It's really pretty easy. Is there any other nominations?
I move nominations be closed.
Okay. Since there's only, one nomination for chair and vice chair, we'll, accept those, by acclamation. Yeah. And then, next one will be, secretary.
No, I don't think we nominate. That's me, I'm the secretary for both APC and BCA.
Okay, okay, that's fine. All right,
You can vote on me if you want. Yeah, I think
it's fine.
I don't think we have a separate one, do we?
Yep.
I don't think anybody else wants to
No,
do
that's,
it.
yes, that's falling under APC and
Okay.
BCA.
All right, next item on the agenda is variance V 2020,
Yep.
oh, no, approval meeting.
Dates.
Sorry, approval meeting dates. And, meeting dates have been held the same day as the area plan commission at only at 7 p.m. you know, and,
We're following.
We approved those.
Yeah, we have to do it here too.
yeah, we have to do it here too. You guys are at 6,
Right.
we're at 7. Potentially, we could move it up to 6:30, you know, or we could leave it at 7, you know.
Leave it at 7, there's been too many times it was 8 before we got it.
Yes, and we've
So,
already sent public notice to the comment for the year.
Yeah,
Okay,
Well,
It
we
can-
sent you the pre.
It can be
approved-
changed. Yeah,
so,
whatever you-
It's up to you guys,
Yeah,
however you wish to do it.
okay. At the pleasure of the board. Do I hear a motion?
I knew we leave it at 7.
Second.
7, the same night as the
As the APC, yes.
APC meeting, right after the APC meeting,
So it's the 4th Tuesday?
Correct.
4th Tuesday of the month.
Well, for the 4th Tuesday, because the EPC's not there, it doesn't mean.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Yes, that is correct, that would be correct, yeah.
And you guys should, so he's got his emails now that, if you did not get the dates, I will get them to you after they're finalized tonight, but again, it's the 4th Tuesday of every month, so.
Okay.
Yeah, like he said, the APC doesn't meet sometimes, so it's basically gonna be us at 7 o'clock and.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Motion's made and seconded, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? It's carved in stone, folks. Okay, next thing, variance V 2023-1, Pyramid. And according to our bylaws, the applicant or the commissioner is to make their presentation. So please come up and, well, let me catch one thing first. Cameron, I assume that it was advertised, fees were paid,
Yes.
and,
All requirements for public notice will have.
okay, thank you very much. Okay, please.
Can I go up there too, or no?
Sure.
Yeah, please state your name, you know, address, and tell us what you want to do. Don't get too nervous.
Okay.
You know, we're just regular people,
I
okay?
didn't know with that gavel over something.
No, I don't have.
Hi, everyone, I'm Andrea Pierman. We currently live at 11846 North Vista Drive in Monticello. And we're looking, we have a lot at
7895.
7895
North
North
Amber.
Upper
Ambridge
Cambridge
Drive.
Drive in Monticello, Island Freeman.
And then we're looking to build a new home there. And we're asking for a variance of, I guess 15 feet. So the 13 feet, oh yeah, 20 feet, we're asking for 15, so it'll be 7 feet left over for the new house due to the structure of our lots on a hillside. And we want to pull the house back into the hill as far as we can to help the cost of foundation, things like that.
Yeah, so you're asking for 13 because your structure's gonna go
Yes.
7 feet.
7 feet,
Yes.
it'd be 7 feet from the
It's
property
20,
line.
it's a 20-foot setback.
Correct.
Yep, now we're on track.
Okay, and that's in this
Yes, sir.
drawing, okay?
We've got quite a hillside there.
Yes.
Well, and we didn't quite know that until we got involved in that. And we thought it was, but once they started digging, it got to be a little bit more.
So the way the hillside runs, are you going with the hillside or you're going perpendicular?
And our house will be running east and west. So you'll drive off, you'll come off the private, or the gravel road or whatever, right into the garage. And then the east side of the house, our living area, will look over top of it.
You guys should have in your packet a drawing of how it sits on the, proposed on the property.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, we do. And we really appreciate that, thank you.
And we had to
Thank
do-
you.
Well, thanks to Cameron for
Thank you
telling us
for
what we wanted to
Cameron.
have.
We were, it took a lot to get everything, and he was so patient with
No,
us.
that's all right.
There's been a lot of issues up in that Cambridge, we're really,
Yeah, they're depicted in the
Yeah.
flood zone, and if that floods, we're all in trouble.
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Anything else you'd like to tell us about that, or?
We're excited, Bill.
Yeah, I guess you guys have any questions?
So they're just asking for 7 feet from the road?
Yeah, so the setback is 20 feet front, and rear. So they're gonna be, they need an extra 13 feet. So they're asking for a 13, you know, instead of 20, they're gonna go out to 7 feet from the property line.
So
Which,
they,
which would put us in line with some of the other structures out there.
Yeah.
So is that gonna be the garage, or is it?
Yes.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
the garage.
So, and the contractor speaking with them, you can't do something of this nature as two floors. It has to be one floor for garage, everything. So some houses can be a separate floor, some can't, so they cannot move forward until this variance, that way they can pour the concrete all at once. So I did go out there, there's other houses out there, and it's, it did match up with all the other houses out there.
It's not gonna be out of line from the rest of
No,
it?
no, and it's out there, it's kind of its own little
Yeah, we're on
area, it's a private,
dead end
it's
private
a
road.
quiet road, and it's a beautiful view, and
is the road, the line that goes right through the road where you have your cursor?
Yes, sir.
I can hit the road right.
And then how far does it go beyond the property?
So there are
Two lots.
two lots.
Two lots, okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
It ends right there.
so there's not a lot of traffic going down the road?
No, the lot to us, they're great, they live in Delphi, and they're there for just summer. And then,
There's one more house
there's just
past
one more
us.
house past us. And they have a zero variance on their lot.
so this was Randy Strong that was in front of the board several years back.
Yep. Are you right next to,
Gives the zero setback.
Chief?
Randy did, he
No,
went through
yeah.
the.
Oh, yes, Jim and Linda.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Linda Tyner.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
right next door.
Time.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know exactly where you're going.
Yeah. Yeah, we
That-
you know, we got very
They're
lucky,
great,
yeah, we
great people.
got great
That is a
neighbors.
hillside.
They are, they're great.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? Thank you very much. You know, we'll move on to our next item that we do on this, which will be, the, staff report.
You can have a seat.
Oh,
Yep, you guys
Yeah,
are
You're
good.
fine, you don't have to stand for all of them.
okay.
That's it.
As we just heard from Andrea, they're requesting a variance of 13 feet. Rear setback in lieu of the required 20-foot. The variance was properly advertised in the Carroll County Comment on January 11th. The sign was properly posted. We did not receive any comments or inquiries about the project. I did do a site visit last Tuesday. The road is very quiet, actually. I think maybe Randy was the only person I seen come down strong, the house at the end come down the road. So it's a nice quiet area, and you know, they need this extra room to be able to build their new home. The use and value of the area adjacent to the property would most likely be unaffected. The property value would only increase with the addition of the new home. The change in the rear setback would not be injurious to public health, safety, moral, or general welfare of the community. Area Plain staff would provide a favorable recommendation of approval for the variance. And if I lose my voice, I'm sorry, I'll start typing things and flipping it over.
Okay.
It's getting real close to going out.
All right.
But yeah, they did meet all the requirements, the sign was posted, they've been very patient with us as well, so.
Okay, next thing in the process is we'll open the floor for public comments. So anyone that wishes to speak in favor of this variance, please come up to the podium and address. Anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Hearing none, I'll call the floor closed at 7:14. And we'll move on to the next one. The thing will be, does the applicant wish to request any time for rebuttal? Nope, okay. And then, any questions from the board concerning this?
Only comment I have is that, thank you for building in Carroll County. And working around the complications of the terrain out there, so,
Thank you.
no.
It's been a long journey, it's not what we thought it was, but we're happy to be here.
Yeah. Any other comments, questions? Do I hear a motion?
To,
We'll have to have a motion to proceed with questions.
I move we proceed with questions.
Motion's made and seconded, discussion from the board. Hearing none, call the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. So we shall proceed with questions for a variance, and there are 3 questions that need to be answered. The motion needs to be made in such a manner to demonstrate either in favor or against the motions. And the first one is the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community.
make a motion to approve, question number 1.
And you need to demonstrate why it.
The area is residential now, and the use that they're, actually, wanting to build, meets the requirements of the residential in the area.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion from the board? Hearing none, call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Second question, the use and value of the areas adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. And the motion needs to be made to demonstrate that it will not be adverse in an adverse manner.
I move we approve this variance. The property is going to have a new home built on it, which will only improve the neighboring properties.
Motion's made and seconded, discussion from the board. Hearing none, call the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Third and final question, the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property. And the motion should be made so that it demonstrates that it would not result in practical difficulties in the use of the property.
I move we approve this as, the extra 13 feet, 7-foot change on it will make, otherwise the smaller home would have to be building into the river or the lake, so this will keep them on dry land.
Motion's made and seconded, discussion from the board. Hearing none, call the question, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, congratulations, you've been granted a variance.
Thank you, Cameron.
You're welcome.
Go
You
to
guys-
Cameron, and he'll get you the papers and stuff.
We'll get you the official form of this and then continue on with where we left off.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Be nice to your neighbors, we all know them.
We really like them. Thank you,
Okay.
everyone.
Next item on the agenda is variance V 2023-2, Upper. And please come up, state your name, and tell us what you want to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andrew Hufford. Thanks for seeing me. I'll try to be brief. Started building a new home on the said parcel. Well, let me back up. Could not build a new home until I had only one home per parcel. So I surveyed off part of my ground there, cutting off my old current house, which I'm living in order to build the new one. And the survey is less than an acre in size. And I accounted for that and planned on tearing down the old house. This is back in 2021 when I started this project. Since then, things have changed considerably in life and economics, I guess. And also children have grown. I've been getting requests from my son and or my nephews and nieces to possibly rent the house from me for some amount of time. And they do not want me to tear it down. And so I was asking the commissioners to allow me to keep the house erect, though it be under an acre in size on the parcel, so that I might be able to do something with it. For my children, or nephews, nieces. Seems like an economic waste, sort of, at the current moment. And, yeah, that's basically the gist of it. we live outside Burlington, 2 miles to the west of Burlington, 1 mile to the south. I run a farm, just down the road. We farm all around it, across the road, and all around the current parcel, and around the new house. And, it's all family owned. Across the road is owned by a tenant of ours, or a landlord of ours. So they seem to be okay with it, and I was hoping you guys would too. So I'm asking for a little help.
So what you're requesting is
In lieu of the acre, lot size of the.
lot size requirement in an agricultural district at half acre, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm happy to answer any questions. Actually, up there at the top of the picture is where the new home was built. My partner and I are gonna be bidding together. Our current houses could not hold either one of us with our children.
And this is not updated, there is a new.
Yeah, I have a picture from Google Earth of its current situation, if you want to pass it around. That's from July of 2022. The barn dominium. I plan on doing shop work in the
Can you
garage
see
side.
that, Teresa? Okay.
Oh, you got it right there. Oh, very good. Oh, that's the same picture. Very good. The house is in good order. There's nothing really wrong with it. It's just a little bit in the way in terms of seeing out yonder. But, with the family asking about it and just, even if they weren't to do anything with it, I could probably rent it out for several years and make a little bit of my money back. Notwithstanding, my son's getting ready to graduate college. I have 2 nephews getting ready to graduate high school. There's some opportunities there that maybe I overlooked at the beginning.
The only comment I have is that the Carroll County zoning ordinance was created with 1 acre lot minimum size
Yes, sir.
to allow the construction of a home with since it doesn't have municipal wastewater.
Right.
You know, it allows you to put a septic system in and a well and have enough reserve acreage that you could put in another septic system when your existing one fails.
Yes, sir.
You know, and with a half acre, you barely, I don't know where your well is at, but you barely have enough.
Well is on the southwest corner of the old house.
You know, if you used I did some numbers this afternoon. If you used your entire front yard and your entire east yard, you'd have enough space for a septic system.
Yes, sir.
Where's your existing septic system?
It's due east of the house.
You couldn't put it even in where you've got an existing one. So, from that standpoint, if your septic system ever fails, you're doomed. Unless you buy land off of the adjoining farm.
Yes, sir.
You know, that was the whole rationale of the 1 acre lots. You know.
The sound rationale. Yes, sir.
Unless he went into the other parcel, you mean?
No, well,
But I don't think the intent would ever be to
that's,
separate
that's,
the two parcels.
1.3 acres. If you divided it in half, you still wouldn't,
Have to go the other direction.
yeah, you still wouldn't have enough to meet the requirements for two lots.
Yes.
Cause you'd have 1.33 acres plus a half would be 1.8 acres, which is not, divided by 2 is not 1 acre.
Sure. Of course.
Is there any possibility that you could lease a right to put a septic system on the adjoining
There's a
property?
distinct possibility.
They own
The joint
they own
focus.
everything around.
Is mine, sir.
My counselor and my beautiful sister
Oh,
owns the ground to the east and west. And my landlord, who I farm for, owns across the road. I don't plan on bothering him,
yeah.
but, I suspect I could achieve something if required.
Now, the question we would have then would be, you know, if we would approve a variance,
Yes, sir.
you know, as it stands today, you know, you could sell it, you know, a week later with just a half acre.
This is true, I suppose. Yes. Yes. don't like to sell ground very often.
Well, I understand, I understand,
Yes,
but
sir.
I think you'll understand because we had a subsized lot over at Monticello along the lake that a guy was trying to do a hocus pocus on this river, by the way. And we denied that, on a meeting or two ago.
Justifiably, no?
Yeah. And so,
Been a while now.
it was sometime last year.
I remember,
Yeah, I think it was November, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Would some type of covenant satisfy, I mean, some type of commitment on my behalf as the contiguous farm ground?
Or my behalf, across the new parcel.
well, the new parcel wouldn't do it because you wouldn't have sufficient acreage for two
Well,
lots.
yeah, so not the, I guess not the.
Not
news,
to the
but,
east or
yeah, to
northeast?
This right here,
To
correct?
go to the west or the northwest, you know. and you
Right.
can farm down.
So we wouldn't be able to
I
do
could not
anything
go to
with
the
the 1.3, but you could go this direction, which is what Abby was stating that she.
Yeah.
Right, the septic for the new, residence is due east of the new place.
Mhm.
And if I, being the owner of the new bigger parcel, I could not covenant due east of the old.
Well, you still wouldn't have sufficient acreage. You know, for two houses, you have less than 2 acres, so you wouldn't meet the minimum lot size.
I see, yes, sir.
Even if you divided it exactly in half,
Gotcha.
you know.
Very good, very good. Yeah, that is quandary.
We had this situation before, I mean, if the family owns the farmland, is there not a way to do a covenant with the family or a lease agreement or something?
You could record it on have it recorded on deed. I'm not a lawyer.
Can you hear that, Cindy?
She is.
Cindy,
Yeah.
Cindy
Yeah,
could.
yeah.
Would that, Cindy, could you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Would that
Is
mean,
that I mean, ask Abby, is that an option?
Absolutely.
okay,
She said yes.
okay,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
What would you want that to look like? I mean, recorded right to use or option to purchase if necessary,
That's,
something like that?
that's beyond my, my expertise. You'd have to
Cindy.
refer to Cindy. Cindy could probably advise you what that would need to look like.
I mean, Cindy, I could record like an option to purchase if it was necessary.
That'd probably be the best deal. I mean, the only thing we worry about is chances are it's not gonna go outside the family, so that would be workable, but, if something should change and it does go out to, someone outside the family, I think they need to have, notice that should that system fail, they are going to have to seek out other options, and here's the option.
Would you want me to draft something and you just approve it? You can approve this variance contingent on that option to purchase or option, however we work that out?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay.
I'm okay.
If they do that, then they don't need this, right?
No, it's just
no.
a contingency, in the event something was to happen, they
It's
have that,
contingent.
it'll be a recorded docket, or document, it'll be a legal document, that's, in the event anything ever did happen, the title search should discover that.
So you're basically saying if a well should fail and he needed, or septic should fail and he needed to put in a new one, that he'd have an option to survey and purchase out of my field.
Yes.
Right.
Additional space to put in a new
Yeah.
septic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because the
the-
septic has to be on the same parcel for.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that makes sense there.
yeah, yeah.
We're not messing it up.
You better get it cleaned out.
Of course, unless you're on the Twin Lakes Regional Sewer where they have to share, but that's a different infrastructure there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
so, yep.
okay, anything else you wanna tell us? Any other questions from the board?
I just appreciate the consideration and your time. Thank you very much for hearing me.
All right.
I feel comfortable about this with the property being owned completely around it.
Mhm.
Again, that's a positive. The only, typically, things like this are temporary. So if 10 years down the road, kids or families say, we don't wanna live there, and then the house goes, my guess is that you guys may make the decision at that time it's not needed. So, but I think the thing that really makes it more accommodating for, the variance is that the property, they own the property all the way around it.
Well, you know, if it's recorded on the deed, on the farmland deed, that, you know, that this property that the house is on has the right to purchase, you know, a half acre to make it a conforming lot in the need of a septic replacement, then I don't have any indigestion in the result of it. So,
I'm saying,
yeah, you know, 'cause then you would be in the same boat as everybody else in the town, you know.
Okay, all right, thanks a lot.
And that option could extend even if he sold that half acre, so that would be a
Yeah,
covenant
yeah,
on
if
my
it's recorded
property.
on-
I'd have to
recorded
sell
on-
it
Stay
to
with the property.
a new buyer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so that way, when they did title search, they need to be disclosed that, hey, this is
Yeah.
a possibility
Yeah.
that, you know, he may have to
And
expand.
if I were to sell the farm,
Kind-
it would still
Right, so
benefit
it's
that
kinda
way.
like an easement.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. Okay,
Yep.
Thanks again.
I'm gonna do it.
thank you,
Do you want that back?
Oh, yes, sir.
Cameron was the,
Thank you.
you wanna do your staff report for this, please?
Yes, so Andrew Hupper and Jill Goodrich applied for a variance to the Board of Zoning Appeals located at 4861 East, 600 South in Cutler. The applicant is requesting a variance of a half an acre in lieu of the 1 acre required size by the Carroll County zoning ordinance for agricultural. It did meet all the requirements, it was posted in the paper, the sign was properly posted. We'll add to that after, so, with the, we don't have anything in here about the additional disclosure, but,
Okay.
yeah, so with that, we would give a favorable recommendation with the additional discussion and documentation.
Okay.
Easement.
Okay, all right, any, letters or correspondences either in favor or against?
We had no inquiries.
Okay, and, so then the, next thing we would do would be open the floor for public comment, and is there any public comment either in favor or against? Hearing none, call closed at 7:32, and, since there's no other comments, you know, there's no need for rebuttal. Any final questions from the board?
I might raise, Mr.
Yeah.
Stover, one thing we forgot to mention, I think it was in the petition about adjusting the addresses, this postal address. Cameron, I don't know if that needs to be addressed here, is that something you assign after?
That's what we'll
Okay.
do, yeah.
He'll take care of it.
Gotcha.
He'll take care of it.
Thank you.
Don't worry, he's a good guy, he's got that.
Move that we proceed with the questions.
Okay. So, Cindy, should we make a motion on proceeding with questions contingent upon the recording of a, what would be
Option to purchase.
option to purchase a half acre for septic system if necessary?
Yes, everything should be contingent on that.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Maybe when we get done with the questions.
No, we have to do it first. So, you know, the thing would be to say that, you know, make a motion to proceed on the questions contingent on the, you know, approval of the questions and a recorded option to purchase of an additional half acre in the zoning farmland. Does that make sense?
I will make that my motion, amended motion.
That works.
And is that okay for the second?
I'll second it.
Okay, motion's made and seconded. Any discussion from the board? Hearing none, call the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. All right, so we will proceed with questions for the variance. You know, first being that the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. Motion should be made in such a manner to demonstrate that this variance will not be injurious to the public health, safety, and morals of, and general welfare of the community.
I move we accept this variance. It will not endanger the public health, safety, morals, general comfort or general welfare of the community. The Huffer family owns the majority of the community right around that. This is contingent on his getting an option to purchase for the extra, which will take care of the safety in case there's a septic tank problem.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion from the board? Hearing none, call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Second, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner.
Wait a minute.
So you make a motion to demonstrate that it won't affect the, adjacent property in a substantially adverse manner.
I move that we accept this, based on the fact that the family owns the adjacent property and that is currently living there in a new home.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion from the board? Hearing none, call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Third and final question. The strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property. So we demonstrate that, if we strictly follow the rules, it would make it difficult to use the property, and how we address that issue.
I'll make a motion that we approve that one. The strict application of the zoning ordinances, we have addressed those with the additional, acreage that needs to be recorded as part of the special, or as part of the variance, being approved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion from the board? Hearing none, call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations. Much easier than what I had anticipated.
Can you get that number, please? There's two forms there.
Yep. All right.
I have that up for you. There's two forms on this one, so thank you.
Kevin, I'll send a draft something to send me, but what does the board need to see?
Once we get it all done, it's recorded.
Yeah.
I'll
That's good,
make
too.
sure that they are presented
And then
with
you'll
it that way,
issue,
and then
okay.
we'll put it in our books, and then it'll be recorded.
Okay.
Abby, just call me next week.
Call you tomorrow.
I'm not answering.
How about that?
Call her at 8 o'clock our time.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you, ladies and
Thank you
gentlemen.
very much.
Thank you.
Nice to see you again.
Trying to think of my daughter. That phone doesn't even ring until 8 o'clock in the morning out there.
I called Edmonton, Alberta. 8 o'clock our time. Didn't- Not knowing it was 5 in the morning. Oh, yeah. Okay. Staff report? Or director's report? Sorry.
So I gave a, kind of a year-end report for the APC, I'll go over with you guys again just real quick. We were down 17 new homes this year from, or in 2022 from 2021. Total permits, we were down 24, with a total of 282. Total value of assessments, we were down $12,388,476. Office fees, we were down $13,033. So, again, it's kind of a struggle to work with the building division, and we stayed busy with a lot of remodels and a lot of sheds. But hopefully this year the numbers go back up and people have the confidence to build again, and we can get back to some kind of normal. So other than that, we're just staying busy, and welcome Mr. Downey to the board. Yeah, he's gonna be on both, so very knowledgeable, and glad he stepped up to take the position, look forward to 2023, so. Gloria always does a great job in the office, so without her, we have nothing. She's the glue that holds us together in there, and she has to put up with me every day, so
We start calling you Elmer now?
that's all I got.
Cindy, do you have anything?
No, just, running back up for him, whatever I'm looking forward to a new year.
Who gave you permission to go to California?
That airlines. You didn't fly Southwest, did you?
No,
Okay.
we made it just fine.
Okay. Are there any other items that,
I wanna say something.
yes,
So, they send out, so they can make the packets, are we all letting them know that we're gonna be here, or not gonna be here? Gloria, are we letting you know? No. So we all need to make this our new resolution, that the fourth Tuesday of the month is our meeting, and we need to let them know that we're gonna be here or not gonna be here, because Gloria does a lot of work making our packets and making sure everything's ready, so we need to do our part, cooperate back.
Yeah, if we're not gonna have a quorum, then we need to advise the
Yes.
petitioner, that way, they do have proper notice, so.
Yes.
Ran into a lot of that with this board, you guys are good to work, but yeah, please let us know, that helps Gloria a bunch with packets, and she does a lot of work getting these things prepared, so.
I will definitely let you know if I don't get here. Okay.
And if your emails aren't working, please let me know, I'll get with Randy, but so far I think we're on the right track, getting through some hurdles with technology.
Yeah. I opened mine up yesterday and today, so.
Good, keep your password active,
I
'cause I don't wanna go through yours again.
Yeah, I know, I'm sorry.
I think they would like us to open them a little bit before, just the day before, so that they would make sure we got plenty of.
Yeah, we always send it out the Tuesday before, and the reason is so you guys have a chance to go out, look at it, study it, and we like to give you guys everything prior to the meeting, that way you are prepared when you get here, and the questions are already answered, it makes it simplified and easy to go through, so.
Okay. Do I hear, are there any other items or new business by anybody? Hearing none,
Motion adjourned.